You know that tweet that says, I spent my day looking at the medium-sized screen at work, then I went home and looked at the big screen, and then I got into bed and looked at my small screen. Yeah, that's all of us, isn't it? And then somehow, even though we are tired, we just can't fall asleep. Apparently, this sleeplessness has to do with something we are passively all victims of throughout the day. I'm talking about blue light. Wondering what it is? You may have heard people saying, my eyes are so stressed I need to buy blue light glasses. Oh, side note, ophthalmology associations say these don't even work. Is blue light exposure the reason behind our sleeplessness? What is blue light and should you be worried about its impact on your health? Let's talk about this in today's episode of the Whole Truth Academy. First things first, what is this blue light that I'm talking of? Well, blue light is emitted by various artificial sources like TVs, smartphones, computers, laptops, and the many other fancy devices that you might have. This light in excess is bad for you, and given how we are all surrounded by electronic screens, we are almost definitely consuming blue light in excess. I will get to why and how blue light is bad for you in a bit. But for now, let's understand light and blue light. Suppose you could play God and make light. How would you do it? Well, it turns out that much like gender and sexuality, light exists in a spectrum. It means that if you break up light into its constituent parts, there is a spectrum of colors that make it up. Imagine light as a wavy line, like when you see ripples on the surface of water. What we call the wavelength of light is like the length between two bumps on that wavy line. If the distance between the bumps is short, the light looks bluish or violet. If the distance between the bumps is long, the light looks reddish or orange. So, the wavelength tells us what color the light is. Now, natural light on the whole consists of a balanced spectrum of colors, including different intensities of red, orange, yellow, green, blue and violet. Now you're wondering, if blue light is present in natural light and my eyes can handle that, why is my smartphone so bad? Because hey, my smartphone is the only place where I can watch PUBG epic fail moments 1 hour compilation videos before I fall asleep. Well, it turns out that it's quite bad for you. So, you know how we all watch hours of content before we fall asleep? Well, that's where the blue light is doing most harm to us. Our bodies associate the blue light of morning with alertness and being awake, while the softer lights of the evening are the time to begin resting and relaxing. This is part of the circadian rhythm of the body, which is the internal biological clock that regulates various physiological processes, including sleep-wake cycles over a roughly 24-hour period. For now, understand this. For our bodies, broadly speaking, being exposed to blue light signals be awake, while warmer orange and red lights mean sleepy time. Let's move on to another player in the mix, the hormone melatonin. As we get exposed to less light and more darkness, our brains receive signals to produce melatonin. It's the hormone that tells the body and brain to start the process of sleep. But other than sleep disruption, blue light also causes significant strain on our eyes. Our eyes have a natural protective layer called the cornea that helps block out most of the harmful ultraviolet or UV rays from the sun. Blue light from screens is not as intense as UV rays, but when we spend a lot of time looking at screens that emit blue light, our eyes can get tired, dry, or feel a little strained. This is known as digital eye strain or computer vision syndrome. It can cause blurred vision, headaches, and dryness in the eyes. Here's a test to see whether you're actually affected by this syndrome. Watch Tare Zameen Par. If by the end of the film you're not crying, well, you're either a heartless monster or you probably have dryness in your eyes because of the excessive attack of blue light. There can't be any other option. So is there a solution for our eye health and sleep health? Marketeers will tell you there is. Enter blue light blocking glasses, which typically feature lenses with a special coating or tint, selectively blocking or absorbing blue light wavelengths. They can help, but maybe not as much as the marketing teams of blue light companies would have us believe. Turns out marketeers everywhere like to do markety things, which include exaggerating claims and maybe sometimes even straight up lies. Take for example this. In the UK, Boots opticians faced a fine of £40,000 for making misleading and unsubstantiated claims regarding the ability of blue light glasses to protect the retina from damage. Here are a couple of good practices you can follow to keep your eyes, eyesight, and, as you've now understood, your sleep cycle a bit healthier. First, abstinence. Take the effort to avoid screens and bright lights for 1 or 2 hours before you sleep. Second, smartphone screen brightness can stimulate the eyes and suppress melatonin production. So it's best to reduce the brightness of your devices, especially in the evening time. Just schedule to activate automatically in the evening. The phone takes on a yellow-orange tint that admittedly at first looks like your smartphone has jaundice, but eventually you'll get used to it. Third, the 20-20-20 rule. The American Academy of Ophthalmology recommends that every 20 minutes we look at an object that's 20 feet away for 20 seconds to alleviate eye strain caused by screen use. And finally, maximize morning sunlight because doing that will increase sleep quality at night. So consider incorporating a short walk or bike ride into your morning routine, as daytime exercise promotes better sleep. So that's our episode for today. Remember, watching Friends and Modern Family episodes before you go to sleep is just so damn addictive, but the more you engage in that, the more your future might look like an episode of Grey's Anatomy. Make an exception only to watch us, the Whole Truth Academy.